have a great Between the Pawn in store. But before we get into the excitement, I sincerely want to thank the episode sponsor, Cambridge Gold and Antiques on eBay. They're based out of Cambridge, Wisconsin. There's a link in the video description to go check out their eBay store. They do a lot of what I do. They buy and sell. They're actively looking for wristwatches and specifically antique small appliance electronics, like small fans. So if you guys have anything like that, please email them, murraykillian124@gmail.com. Again, there's a link in the video description. Go check out their store. Like I said, they're always buying and selling. They seem like great people, so be sure you hit them up and give them the money's worth in the sponsorship, because we love our sponsors here on Pawn Man. With that, let's get into the Between the Pawn. Let's take a look.
I don't know what I have here. I assume some of this is just foreign money.
Well, I'll tell you what. These are not very expensive, but I can make an offer because I can just do this as one big deal on whatnot. Okay, let's see here. We got 15, 16, 18, 22, 24, 26. How's 30 bucks? It's $4 over face.
Sure.
These are nothing over face. These are very little.
Being you're interested in the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of Coke stuff. Yeah, it's probably from the 50s. 30 bucks?
You do 50?
What do you want on the bottles?
Well, I know that if I tried to buy these...
What year are they from, you know?
Got to be early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
Caps may not be the original caps. Mm-hmm. But they're nice bottles. They're something I wouldn't necessarily let go unless you're really interested in them.
Why don't you tell me what you want on these?
I really don't want anything on them, but
you don't want to sell
them for. I'd do $100 for the pair.
140.
Okay.
Does that work?
That'll work.
That'll work. Okay.
Well, you want to see the toys?
Yes. Yes.
I can loan you this to look at if you're comfortable with that. What I've done is I've marked in here the ones that I do have. This is actually the Cordovan had quite a selection. This is a signed copy of it, and I've marked everything that I've got. So everything that comes out of here shows up in here. You can take a look at that. So rather than looking, now this a number of years old, but it's still sort of the standard.
Were these made by
Mark's company?
Is that kind of similar to Matchbox?
No, they're different manufacturers.
Look at these prices. $1,200. How old is this book?
I'd put it in
Looks kind of old.
90s.
Oh, it's that old?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine how expensive this stuff is then.
According to that book, there's probably $5,000 or $6,000 worth of trucks and cars in this box right here.
Okay. No original boxes?
No. Just on the one. I've got one that's got original boxes.
So, we have quite an assortment of trucks here. Do you know what they're worth slash what you want?
These here, the Pyros, those are these here. They show these two variations, one with the knobby wheels, one with the rubber wheels, and this is a variation with the red cab that doesn't show up in here. $200 to $300 for two of these.
Okay, so we'll probably be too far apart on prices just because you know, you're a collector and and I gotta make money and I'm kind of a shark when I make offers. Pair here, I'd be at 75 for the pair. Pair here, I'd be at 60. These three here, I'd be at 120.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just be at $5 on this thing. And I'd be at 110 for the three of those. And then I'd be at $30 for these three, so $10 each. 420. Brought to you by Bondwater.
Okay. Can you push up a little bit just to make me feel like the whole package? Come on, dude. Don't be such a shark.
No, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I don't want to be buying this kind of stuff right now, and I'm already buying this stuff.
Okay, so what do we got here then?
This was 100. Let's see, what do we do?
I thought you said
140. Yep, 140, and then 30. So it was 170 right there.
170.
Yeah.
So that would add in
plus 170. We're at 590. Fine, 600.
600?
Yeah.
Deal.
All right. He's a collector and obviously knows quite a lot, and I usually those are usually my least favorite people to deal with, just because there's no deals to be had with someone that wants full worth and knows what stuff is worth. And he was using a guidebook from the 90s, so it's well, who's to fucking say on the prices? I thought either the prices have gone through the roof on this stuff and it's not accurate for that reason, or the prices have gone way down. On eBay, I just looked up auction, high to low prices, vintage Coca-Cola die-cast trucks, and I was able to just go, okay, so I see this one here and probably make about $400. I am going to keep some of it though. Check this out, you guys. This is silver. It's the Scream. They only minted 500 of these. It's from the Republic of Ghana. Why the fuck Ghana is making Norwegian art silver prints, I don't know, but they are. Massive premium on this thing. I want to say I paid $210 for this from my wholesaler, and I got 435, and that's still under retail. These are like $550 online. So this painting, you guys, is one of my all-time favorite paintings. Let's talk a little bit about the Scream. This was created by Norwegian artist Edvin Munch in 1893. There's a few versions of it. The 1895 pastel on board version sold at Sotheby's auction for $120 million. Now today, this was in 2012, so today that could go for $500 million. Like, I talk about this again and again, but the collector's market has just gone fucking nuts, especially the art world. A little bit about the artist Edvin Munch. He had a very tragic life, or at least his childhood was. He was very sickly. His mother and his sister died when he was young, and then he himself struggled with poor health throughout his entire life. He lived from 1863 to 1944, and he's best known for his emotionally charged works kind of like these. Throughout his career, he would experiment with different techniques and mediums. He did over 1,000 paintings and over 15,000 prints in his life. That's a lot. Now, we are going to be talking to, and I know I keep talking about him, but I'm so excited to talk to him. Jose Trujillo will be on the program next month, and there's one thing that I want to talk to him about, like just an observation as an artist. You don't want an artist that, if you're investing in an artist or their artwork, if they're just mass producing stuff, that's not good for a collector, because too many is too much. Less is more with art. Munch's artwork was considered very controversial for the time. However, today it is this is one of the most celebrated images of pop culture ever. Macaulay Culkin's is based on this. You've seen this, I'm sure, a gajillion times. It's such a famous painting. So just to kind of briefly talk about this painting itself, and I actually didn't know this for the research, this is a panic attack he had in 1892. He just completely flipped the fuck out, and that is what inspired this. A year later in 1893 was that panic attack. And to quote him, he said, he was walking in what is now Oslo. The sun was setting and the clouds turned as red as blood. I sensed a scream passing through nature. I felt as though I could actually hear the scream. I painted this picture, painted the clouds like real blood, and the colors shrieked. I fucking just love that. But this painting here, it was a lot of experimental techniques that worked out really well. I mean, just the way he does the lines, it all kind of swirls and revolves around the scream itself, and it amplifies the scream, the image, just the way that he did this brush technique. These colors, these clashing colors are meant to just upset the viewer right off the bat, like the sky of blood. I mean, that's exactly what it is here. But you see all these different lines, they all kind of lead here, like especially coming over in this way, and it just draws you right away to the scream itself. This painting has become a manifestation, a representation of the human condition, of fear. And what I like most about this, these two individuals here kind of got cut off in this box. These two people are totally normal. Nothing wrong with them. I mean, you can't see their faces, but they're unmolested, walking down the bridge. They're just fine, but he's screaming, and the reason being is he discovered that this was subjective. It was only him feeling this emotion during the panic attack. The whole world was peachy around him. It was just all in his head. So finally, the Scream has been stolen a number of times. From 2004 to 2006, actually, it was missing for 2 years. Some thieves just basically clobbered right through a wall of the museum and grabbed it. It was also stolen in 1994 by a renowned art thief. They got it back, but I'm sure it'll get stolen again. And what is it worth? Fuck if I know. God, honestly, probably... Okay, maybe $500 million's high right now, but God, in 10 years it won't be. Might even be more. This item is sold. I am trying to track down more. I actually really want one of these for my showcase. They only made 500 of these. I paid $220 for this, and I got $430. So I'm looking for more. One of my favorite pieces, and we're going to be talking about artwork and art heists and all kinds of stuff on the program here really soon. I just wanted to tease you guys with this while I had it. My friend Mike has some friend in Europe, in Poland, and she just did this. I paid her $200 to do this. This is the Stone Arch Bridge in Minneapolis. This turned out great. She's an excellent artist. Tell you what, I'll make a post on Instagram, and I'll tag her, and you guys can hire her too if you want some of this art. I think she's a really talented artist. My friend Mike has a couple of pieces by her too, but this one's watercolor. She does other stuff too. We've had some eye-opening stuff happen this week. Not just the fake watch bandits, which nothing's gonna happen. The police aren't gonna do anything. They never fucking do. Something else happened yesterday that was very eye-opening, and I got really motherfucking pissed yesterday. In fact, as I was leaving yesterday, there was a lot of swearing and a lot of monkey in the cage angry. And it wasn't even that big of a thing. I feel very betrayed. So I have a customer. He's one of my first customers, actually, when I opened up. And I have a great rapport with this guy. I've done a lot of business with this guy. And I buy premium stuff from him way above spot, oftentimes when I don't want to buy it just to help him out. And I felt that I could trust this guy, that he was a good guy. So he comes in here on Saturday. And honestly, I might have even filmed this deal. I don't remember. Maybe you'll see this deal. Maybe you won't. But he sells me, among a whole bunch of other stuff, it was like a $5,000 or $6,000 deal. He sells me this. This is a 1994 40 ounce of silver Gibraltar proof, the Reavers. So what is that commemorating? The oldest evidence of human habitation of the rock dates back as far as 40,000 BC. The first Neanderthal man skull ever found was on the rock of Gibraltar, not in the Neander Valley of Germany, as the name implies. So it's commemorating that. Okay, so they made 1,500 of these. He whips it out, and I think, oh fuck, it's another one of these expensive kilos or expensive, deals where there's a ton of silver in it, and he wants way above spot, and he paid a bunch because it's collectible. And so I look at it, and I look online, and there's only one example, and it's $1,800 on eBay. So I think, okay, $1,800 on eBay, but like, who's gonna want to buy this right now? I am not in a good spot to be buying 40 ounces of premium silver. I'm not made of money, especially not right now. So I look at it, I go, look, I'll offer you $1,100. That's $27.50 an ounce. That's at the time it was $6 or $7 over spot. It's not as much now, but he says, I have $13.50 into it. That's what I need. And I sigh and I say, fine, because I like you. I'll do you a favor. I'll do $13.50, fine. Pay him. And he says, as I'm paying him, can you hang on to it to me? I don't want you to sell it. I want to buy it back from you. I need the money, or I have to let this go, but I don't want to sell this. I need this money, so I will. If you can hold on. I said, well, I can't. that's a lot of money. This Coke sign up here, that's one thing. This is another animal entirely. So I'll try to not sell it. Tell you what, I won't advertise it anywhere else. I'll just keep it in my showcase. I'll maybe put it on my website, maybe. But that's it. Yesterday, I'm doing business with one of the local people I deal with. And he looks at my showcase. He says, where'd you get that? And then I said, oh, I just bought it on Saturday. And he said, oh, that's strange, because another dealer that I know sold one on Saturday. I'm like, what do you mean? This exact one? Yeah, that exact one. I saw it in his case. I saw the guy buy it. I asked about the guy. Yeah, same guy. Wait a minute. So I called the other dealer up. Or I texted him. I said, hey, did you sell this to the guy's name? Because the other dealer knows this guy too. Yeah, this motherfucker. Now, okay, it is one thing to wheel and deal and go to different stores and play as dealers against each other. That's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. That is the name of the game. That is the definition of capitalism. If you're going to wheel and deal like that, God bless you. It is another fucking thing entirely for me to offer you more money than you paid in the first place on something, and for you to fucking give me some bullshit about how you need more because you spent more and I feel bad for you, and you twist another $250 out of me out of a lie. That is not okay. So this person is not banned from my store. I will still do business with them, but Mr. Nice Guy is gone. He has completely burned his bridge to the ground with me forever. If you're gonna be dishonest with me and fuck me like that, and just, that's what my relationship, my kindness means to you, is, oh, I bet I can take advantage of him for another $250. Fuck you. Fuck you. You are garbage. So, no more Mr. Nice Guy with him. He completely destroyed his relationship with me, and he destroyed his relationship with the other dealer because the other dealer is pissed for me and also thinks that it's scummy. So, I mean, for $250, this guy ruined his relationship around town with multiple people. Don't burn your bridges unless you plan on completely cashing out a relationship with someone and you don't care and you never want to see him again. If it's somebody you're going to keep working with, you're going to get caught, you're going to screw yourself. It's not worth it. So, keep that in mind. Got a couple things to discuss here. So, number one. It just boggles my mind. How many people send valuable shit to me in the mail? No contact info, nothing. They just drop it in the mail and assume it'll be fine. I got a remote deal here, but I have no idea who the fuck sent it to me because there's no note, there's nothing. And you guys, like, I feel like I actually say this once a video, but holy shit, if you're gonna send me something, please include your contact info. Sure, I mean, even if your name is on the address, most people's usernames are not their real names, and I'm dealing with over 1 million people. Like, I don't know who you are, and I typed in the name and nothing came, so now it sits in the back room until they claim it. So just please, for the love of God, you guys include your contact info. It's not hard. Okay, second thing. This is some of the most tasteless boomer shit I've ever seen. I especially bought this on eBay because it is just so ridiculous. This is commemorating Hiroshima. God, you may as well just put a fucking microwave on the coin. Jesus Christ. You know what's funny is the war started with sushi in Hawaii. And then it ended with a microwave dinner in Hiroshima. I said it. Main thing I want to talk about though is this. This was a deal that came in. I paid $650 for everything you see here. 2 really rare notes. I'm actually very excited to have these. This one, 1872, state of South Carolina. This is, I paid $300. This is probably a $500 note. This one I paid $200 on. This is the Victory series where they wrote victory on the back after liberating the Philippines from the Japanese. Speaking of which, paid $200 on this. This is probably a $300 note. But these are what we're talking about here. These are 2 mint errors, and as you can see, they are pretty obvious errors. They're not like the subtle crap I hate buying. Like, they're very, very distinct. I mean, Ray Charles could see there's something wrong with these. So what happened here? The planchet got mixed up. They prepped it. As we can see, the rim here is raised. They changed the design of the Silver Eagle in 2021, since this was the 1986 version, went all the way to 21, and then in 21 they switched it over. They called this the Heraldic Eagle. They call this Eagle Landing. I actually do not like this Eagle. I like this one, but not this one. So the rims get raised on these ones versus not on these ones because of the way of the strike with the design. But what's interesting here is we see it says 27.5 grams. That is the size of a 90% US commemorative. So it's the wrong size. It's supposed to be 31.1 grams. So they prepped it, but then it was just a mistake. And these are now mint error mistakes. I've noticed that these mistakes here, they all seem to be MS62, which is weird. You'll also notice it's a mint state coin when it should say proof. The distinction between a mint state and a proof is how many times the die strikes the coin. Because we don't have any die strikes on here, it can't be a proof because it wasn't struck twice. It's not a proof. I paid $150 for each of these. I'm actually borrowing this one. The guy came in with both, and I offered him $300 for the pair, and he said I'm keeping one. I said, okay, well, let me at least borrow one. They all seem to be mint state 62. All the examples I could find online, which is weird. But these are, I'm selling them for $225 each, and that's actually under retail. These are probably closer to $250. So these are some pretty rare errors. I don't see these very often. If an error is this extreme, I'm down to buy it. But if it's some crap with a Sacagawea where she has an extra braid of hair. I don't see it. I'm looking at it with a loop. I still don't see it. Apparently it's there, but like I hate that crap. This I like. So these are gonna probably go on my whatnot. Well, the one that I bought actually is going on my whatnot auction tonight. What's going on, you guys? We're Between the Pawn. I'm Evan, and this is my gold and silver business. Before we get into the questions and announcements, once again, I sincerely want to thank the sponsor, Cambridge Gold and Antiques. Visit them online. Email them if you have any electronic appliances you are looking to sell. There's a link in the video description. And with that, how has the week been? Busier than motherfucking shit. You guys should have seen it today. There's literally a line out my door because the metals prices have gone so crazy. And you guys, Jesus Christ, this fries me when, or it doesn't, I shouldn't say fries me, but it just drives me crazy. When I offer people good deals, they say, I'm looking at getting into precious metals. I say, well, right now is a great time to buy. The last 3 months have been like the best time to buy because the price, in my opinion, has been artificially pushed down into the ground. And I've been screaming, buy, buy, buy. You guys buy, it's gonna correct. And when it does, it's going to be aggressive. Sure enough, this week, or these past 2 weeks with these banks failing, and like, this is tip of the iceberg. You guys think this is bad. This ain't shit. Give it 6 months. I have been screaming that something like this is gonna happen and to buy. And I have had so many people be like, well, I'm considering buying. And I give them a fucking deal that they can't find anywhere in the internet. Well, think about it. And then they come back to me, the buyer's remorse, they didn't leap on it, and they want yesterday's price. Well, it's like, you had your chance. I had one guy this week, he really wanted buffaloes, and I had somebody come in and sell me 3 tubes, and I called him up, and I gave him the fucking deal of deals, because it's like, I'm gonna just do this guy a favor, he's a good customer, and it's nice to move stuff in and out like that. And I call him up, and he thinks about it, and I'm thinking like, did you not hear the number I just quoted you? You should be hanging up, driving in your car over here now. No, I think I'll pass. And then he calls me 2 days later because that's when the financial situation changed with the banks and the price started to move up. And he wanted the price and it was like, no, I sold it to somebody else. It's gone. And he's called me all this week, perplexed and like kind of annoyed that I can't get it to him. It's like, dude, this is like a stock market. You don't wait for the stock to go up and say, I want to buy it at yesterday's price when it was half. So leap on it now, you guys, because it is only going to get better. And my prices are fucking unbeatable. I have the largest wholesaler in America as my supplier. You can't get them because you don't have a sales tax ID. The public is not allowed to do business with this entity. You have to be a business and you have to have a license and all that. It's really hard to get on there too. I had to sign documents for Homeland Security. Let me know if you guys want to get the best prices. The more you spend, the better you get. I had somebody this week, a really good customer, buy $25,000 worth of silver and I drop shipped it to him. I want to say I was $2.90 or $3 over spot, which again is crazy. Like, you cannot find that price. Really quick, and as far as the drop shipping goes, just so you know, it's FedEx, it's insured, you get a tracking number. They don't just leave it at your door. They make sure that you have, like, the person who bought it is the one who, they check your ID. They don't just hand it to some person. They make sure that it's going to the right spot. And if there's a problem, they cover it. And my insurance covers it too on the back end. There's double coverage. Okay, other announcements. Well, number one, we're coming up now on the 2-year anniversary. Not this episode. I was gonna do, this is the 2-year anniversary monologue, but I'm gonna do it next Between the Pawn. We'll talk about a lot. I'll talk all about how this business has gone over the last year, because like this has been a great year. Bit of bad news. I can't sell North Korean shit on Whatnot because of one asshole. One person ruined it, not just for me, but for everyone on the entire website. Nobody can sell North Korean shit on there now because this one fucking asshole reported me. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I don't want to feed into conspiracy. It might have been North Korea. And if you're like, what? One of my moderators, I don't want to say too much about his identity, is Neo. He's God with a computer. He can do anything. He did a little trace because I wanted to know who the fuck is this person who caused all these problems for me. And basically what he found, it's an account that is spoofing from probably North Korea. He couldn't give me an exact location because like there's a fine line of what he can legally do and what he can't. I was like, okay, don't break any fucking laws here. Just a ballpark, I want to know what I'm dealing with. It's a spoofing account. I'm not even gonna say where the router was coming or like where the IP address was coming from. It was definitely somebody targeting me on purpose, trying to fuck with me. And just, I know I'm teasing so much here. I don't want to say anything else. But they had a whole bunch of fake accounts attached to their account. And all these fake accounts reported me. And it became a mess. The Whatnot high-ups were like, you gotta stop. We don't want to go to bat for you if this becomes a legal issue. We're not getting bogged down in this shit. So it's too bad. But for now, and this will segue into the next thing, you can get them on my website. Because, I'm not breaking the law getting them. The problem is the law is ambiguous. But as far as I understand it, and the research I've done, and the legal counsel I've talked to, because I talked to 3 fucking lawyers about this, it's fine. It's very murky, but it's fine. So go check out, if you guys want North Korean stuff, it's all going to be on my website, or you can message me directly. I am really, really upset that Whatnot backed down like this, and they're being cowards. They're not standing up for me as a seller, or standing up for, frankly, the law, in my opinion. But whatever, that's a bummer. But go visit my new website, and you guys go visit my new website. It is the best place to be buying from me. Messaging me to buy stuff, I want to do away with that. It is too cumbersome. It is too hard to manage. The website's the best. Go to the website, buy stuff from there. PawnManStore.com, you get 5% off your first order with promo code PawnMan5. It doesn't count for bullion because my margins generally are not even 5%. So check it out. I'll see you guys on my website. Lots of premium silver. I ordered these Malta Knights of the Past. They only made 15,000 of these germanium mint. These retail for about $65. I got them on my website right now for $59. So like you can get really premium stuff. I'm going to be carrying more and more of it, and it'll be under retail on my site because I can get these from my wholesaler. And I've got many, but this is like one of many. Last thing I want to announce before we get into the questions, the H.H. Holmes Pawn Man True Crime Silver Bullion is going really well. You guys really like it, and that's great because I thought this was awesome too. And again, I'm so pleased with Lady Liberty Bullion's work. He's going as fast as he can. He's done 6 of the H.H. Holmes bars so far. Again, I'm keeping number 1 and 34. So I've only released 5 of them, 5 of the 6, and they will be popping up on my website only. I will not announce when they are coming in. They will just show up and then they'll be gone because you only get 1. You get the one that's numbered. I have been getting 225 on these bars. I started at 200 and I sold them too fast, so I raised it to 225. I have the next criminal in mind, so we will finish the run of 1 before we start another one. I'm not gonna overlap them, so we gotta get through all of Holmes before we do the next criminal, who is not a serial killer. He is a robber. That is all I will say. Here's some ideas that would be fucking hysterical that I'm not gonna do because it is too much. Dick Cheney, George Bush, Bin Laden. I would love to put fucking Bin Laden on a bar of silver and do some kind of a 9/11 joke. But and like Jared Fogle was another one with like a fake Subway logo. Even I don't think I could get away with doing that. That is just too much shit to be swimming in. As a guy that likes to backstroke and brown, that's too much for me. Basically, because I had somebody mention my girlfriend is a pen pal with Dennis Rader. Oh my God, he's a real motherfucking bad guy. Always sending her very strange things. I would definitely like one of those bullions if it was for BTK. So I'm not doing BTK because one, he's alive, his family could sue me, and two, there's some criminals that their crimes, even though they like you can't measure evil, his crimes really disgust me. But anyway, the series is going to be a whole lot of fun. All right, with that, you guys, let's get into the questions. Question 1 coming in from Chrissy939. Chrissy, could you put your Whatnot auctions on YouTube for us to watch back? I may be misinterpreting this question. My first interpretation of this question was, can you put like clips of your Whatnot auctions on YouTube? I would like to do that. The fact is the auctions go for 3 hours and I'm not dumping 3 hours of footage on my editor to go through to pick out 3 or 4 or 5 jokes. I want to get clips of the bloopers because like those of you that watch the auctions, you know how drunk I get and how vulgar I get and the fucking things that come out of my mouth and the jokes that I like. I'm honestly amazed I haven't gotten a strike on there with some of the shit that I've said. So I'm working on that, but it's really hard because I don't know when I'm going to say a joke. Like I don't hear a joke coming. I think, okay, I'm going to hit record, and because like that's fake and scripted. Shit flies out of my mouth and I know how to keep a crowd going. What I could do, I could go live on YouTube, but I just like, why? Just come to the auction. I'll look into it. All right, question 2 coming in from Scott McCausland. Scott McCausland. Can you explain the difference between melt value, current point value, and potential historical value over base metal value? Still new to this. I'm amazed why some sellers mark ingots and rounds way over point value. So when you are getting something like this, or I guess I got 2 examples behind me, like this Silver Ghost from Palau, or this Minerva dollar here, or my Pawn Man Silver. You're getting something that is meant to be a collectible. You're getting something that has a low mintage. There's not a whole lot of them out there. People need to be compensated for their time. It takes time to do that. It's easy to manufacture pour coins, mass pour them. That's fine. But if you're gonna do an art pour, like that requires time. It's an art pour. It's an artist making it. So you're gonna be paying a premium over for that art value. And honestly, you can make money because sometimes with collectibles, like I bought a Star Wars MS-70 2-ounce antiquated coin. It was graded by NGC. They only made 5,000 of them. Star Wars, perfect score. That fucker's definitely going up in value. So I paid $250 for 2 ounces of silver. I don't feel even remotely bad about it that I overpaid. I know I'm gonna get my money back on that thing and then some if I keep it for 5 years. I bet it'll go up 3-fold. So when you're getting a collectible, you're looking at the mintage, you're looking at what you've got as an art piece. That's how you're evaluating it. If you're getting bullion, you're simply comparing that against the spot. But if you're comparing an art pour against the spot, that's like going to a BMW dealership and you're puzzled why the cars are more expensive than a Toyota. Best way I can put it. So that's what that is. You have a lot more risk involved if you're doing that because it's a collectible. Collectibles can go to 0. The Minerva dollars. We remember last year, I single-handedly pumped up the price. They were almost $500 at one point. And then they started to go down. And I had a whole fucking bunch of them. And I had been buying and cornering the market on them and pushing them up. But then at one point I had too many and the price started going down and I got rid of them. Interestingly, the price went down and then it corrected and it has started climbing again on them. And I am the thing that broke the stone loose on that price. The prices were never as high until I fuck with that market. So hopefully that answers your question about why there's premiums. Moving on, question 3. R and Rinden circles. Sure. Says, if there's one silver coin you can own and never sell, what is it? I feel like we've been over this and I feel like a lot of you guys know what the answer is. Go ahead, say it. ISIS coin. Oh wait, no, I can't say that. I don't want that because that's a crime. But you know, if it fell off the back of a truck and I found it, it'd sure be fun to find and have and keep and never ever ever tell anyone I have / think of a really fucking good spot that I could keep it in hiding, because if I ever get like, let's say there was a search warrant and I got caught with that, I got myself a little problem. Okay, next question coming in from Zach. 6612. Zach says, who's one person I would love to interview, dead or alive? Oof, good question. Hunter S. Thompson. I want to party with Hunter. I love him. I've never met him, but my God, he would have been fun to party with. Or very close second, and again, very fun to party with. I would pay anything to go on a bender with him one night. Robin Williams. Oh, and he seems like he was such a nice, cool person. Only celebrity I've ever cried over when he died. I fucking cried for days. Either Hunter S. Thompson or Robin Williams. Only Less about interviewing them and more about going on drug benders with them and having fun. That seems like it'd be so much fun. All right, last question. Coming in from Instagram. And you guys, you can ask me questions anywhere. Just know it's easier to ask them here on YouTube. John Rust. John says, Evan, just curious who your favorite Dragon Ball Z characters are. Vegeta and Trunks and are mine, and Fat Boo. Okay, so actually, yeah, we have some of the same characters. My absolute favorite character is Future Trunks. He is so goddamn motherfucking cool. He's so hot. Remember, I was so excited when I got those, because I used to get the Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes, because my parents would spoil me, so I'd go to fucking Sam Goody, and they were $24.99 for the uncut tapes, and you get 3 episodes, $24.99 for 1 hour, and they'd release 2 at a time. It was in 2000 when the Trunks episodes came out, or the first Trunks tapes came out, and I was like, whoa, who's this cool purple-headed stranger from the future? Wow, he's got a sword, he just cut Fritos into pieces. Wow! So Future Trunks, Vegeta, a lot of my behavior I get from Vegeta. I'm honestly very arrogant because of Vegeta. I watched way too much Dragon Ball Z as a kid, and I looked up to Vegeta, and I always thought, I wish I was strong like him and tough like him, and like, I want to be like him when I grow up. Fat Boo. Boo is one of my favorite villains. I love Fat Boo when he gets mad, because actually that's very similar to how my anger goes, where I go from being bubbly and fun to me mad. My favorite villain, though, is probably Imperfect Cell. All right, you guys, well, just like that, end of the day, end of the episode. I sincerely want to thank once again the Between the Pawns sponsor, Cambridge Gold and Antiques. Visit them on eBay or email them if you guys have anything to sell, particularly wristwatches. They're actively looking, like I said earlier, for antique electronic small appliances like fans. So if you have anything like that, please be sure to contact them. And with that, you guys, if you like this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that notification button so you guys know when new Between the Pawns are coming out. Post your questions in the comment section below so I have more to answer on the next Between the Pawn. If you guys like what I do here, consider becoming a Pawn Man Patreon or sponsor. $1 a month gets you early access to my videos, as well as exclusive access to things like Patreon's only written posts. So if you guys like what I do, please support me. I could use all the help I could get. Check out my books on Amazon, and I'll see you guys back here for another great Between the Pawn. Later, guys!